There is a belief that meditation cleanses the mind. Okay, so you have your mind, you have your body, and then the thing that interacts between those 2 points, if you imagine them to be two separate bodies, which they're not, but just for argument's sake, imagine them to be. So you have your mind and then you have your body. And the one thing that can communicate so efficiently between the two is the breath. And so through meditation, we kind of turn from I called it last week the chitta vritti, if you remember that. We kind of turn away from the thinking of our mind to that place where we observe. And we observe the breath because the breath is a direct communication between the mind and the body. So, in other words, we can change the way we feel about ourselves if we can change our breath. So, and I'm sure you have hopefully all experienced this when you start to take those conscious, deep belly breaths. I'm really hoping that you feel something different. You shift from that analytical thinking mind into feeling more into your body. And so it's really important through times of stress and times of even not stress, because those times of not being under a lot of stress and transition in life prepares us for those times when we are in stress and we are in transition. And I'd say this is one of those times where we're under stress, pivoting, and transition. Um, and so, really important at this time to start a practice such as meditation. And so, the first little chunk of class is going to be where we're going to do a little bit of a meditation, and then I'm going to send it to you. So, I'm going to try to figure out how to. Kind of cut just the beginning. I can edit it. I'm pretty sure I know how to do that. If not, I'll figure it out. So maybe give me a little bit after class. But I'm going to chop the beginning off and I'm going to keep it so that over these 2, 3 weeks, however long Zoom allows me to keep it saved in my cloud, you can access it. Okay. So the idea is that you can take this 8 to 10 minutes to meditate every single day, and the yogic belief is that you will start to feel better. You will start to think differently. And through that process of meditation and observing the breath and becoming aware of our breath, we start to develop a stronger mental abilities to be able to cope with the stressors of life. And we'll talk a little bit more about this as these times go by together. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So fantastic. So you can either lie for this or you can sit, completely up to you. If you really start getting into meditation, there are some staunch meditators that say you can't eat lying down, so therefore you cannot meditate lying down. That is a school of thought, but I'm more of the camp that I'd way rather you be more comfortable than in discomfort or dis-ease and not be able to observe and focus on the breath. So however that's going to be for you, so lying or seated, up to you. So Jennifer and Michelle can't see you. I can't see you either, Kevin. So it's all good. But if you are seated, just make sure that your trunk is stacked over your pelvis and that your skull is stacked over your trunk. So there's symmetry in the body. There's a there's a lengthening through the soles of your feet, so that the body really feels like it has integrity. Okay. All right. And then once you feel nice and cozy, you can allow your eyes to close down. And once the eyes close, I want you to take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. So I always encourage you to make a sound with your exhalations. But for whatever reason, if you're not feeling sounds, or if you're just not into making sounds, if you're not comfortable where you are to make a sound, that's okay too. Okay? So go ahead and take a big, full belly breath in, breathing in that three-dimensional way that I've spoken about. And then, good. Two more times, just like that big, full, deep belly breath in. And let it go. Nice. Last one. Deep breath. Ah. And the first step in creating a really good, solid meditative practice is to actually relax the physical body from head to toe and from toes to head. So we're going to go through just a really quick progressive relaxation just to become aware of these bodies. So go ahead and bring your awareness to the very top section of your skull and soften the space between your ears and your forehead, the space around, within, and through the eyes. Soften your cheekbones and your jawline. Allow your tongue to rest heavy upon the floor of your mouth. Allow there to be a slight spacing between the top teeth and the lower teeth. Relax the throat and the shoulders, the space around the heart, the belly, the diaphragm. Completely relax the arms and the wrists, palms of the hands, the tops of the hands, and each individual finger, starting with the right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Soften the left thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Soften the armpits, the right and the left edges of your torso. Allow the pelvis to be soft. Tops of the thighs, backs of the thighs, the kneecaps, lower legs, ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet. Could you allow your right big toe to completely soften? Second toe, third toe, fourth and final toe, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. Take a full, deep, vibrant breath in and a long exhale. Two more, just like that. Big, full belly breath in and completely let go. Last one, deep breath in. Now become aware of your breath. Become aware of your inhalations and become aware of your exhalations. Notice the navel distending either in towards the center of your room or up towards the ceiling, but also in towards the earth, in towards the back body. So try to fill the breath in such a way where you not only feel your breath reaching and stretching forward through the navel space, but also in towards the spine and in towards the back body. And just for a few inhalations, watch that ebb and flow of the breath, that spaciousness in those two opposing directions. And how could you, in your own way, make an adjustment or a shift so that your breath is so much fuller, maybe even deeper? And now notice the left and right edges of your body. Notice the breath reaching and feeling an expansiveness as your breath reaches towards the navel and beyond, back into the spine and beyond, and then also into the right and the left edges of your rib cage. And you could even cup your low ribs here to really feel that kind of expansiveness out and then that collapse in. So it's like this. I imagine a jellyfish here, just kind of floating so effortlessly along the ocean floor, wherever it is. So we have those 2 points, or those 4 points really. Now up towards the heart and then down towards the pelvis. So feel the breath expanding up towards the throat, around the heart space, around the collarbones even. Maybe you feel this spreading and this widening across the upper chest and even into the armpits. And then simultaneously on those inhalations, you feel the breath reaching and diving down into the abyss, if you will, of your pelvis. And sometimes people will even imagine their breath diving down their legs and into the soles of their feet. And for about 4 to 5 more breaths, could you breathe in all of these places simultaneously at the same time? So up towards your skull, down into the pelvis, into the right and the left edges of your body, in towards the navel space and beyond, and then back towards the spine, maybe even the low back, in towards the earth if you're lying down, or if you're seated, that'll be slightly different. So Swami Rama, who is has passed away now, but he comes from the lineage that believes that meditation is this ability to, or it helps us through these times of turmoil and challenge. And he's quoted as saying, how to live in a world, but to be above. So that's the quote he was quite famous for when it came to meditation. And how to live in a world but be above. And so yoga creates this context in which there's skillfulness in all action. So we live in this world where nothing really changes, but we become stronger mentally and even physically because we're so much better at watching ourselves respond and react and function in this world and in this life. So, how to live in a world but be above. So let's start to bring some movement into our fingers and into our toes and